Well, let's tell them what jet wash is. What's jet wash? Oh no, man. Brakes off. Okay to tow, man. He said, but I put some blocks under it, okay? Hey, it's okay to teach others wind, man. Now check it out. Ready? All right. So we got a big engine here, right? Now, I want to tell you about this because this is important, all right? Now, they designed this engine and put those pictures on that engine for a reason. You know, I did the first part of this lesson earlier, man, but I'll give you this one. This is pretty funny. Because some of those flight engineers, you know, no offense, they didn't get it either, man. And then the pilots get in there and they're like trying to figure it out, and then they got like half the math. So I go out to this field today, I do this video, and I'm like, hey, I gotta set this down on the bench, man. Because I didn't put this part on video. It's probably pretty funny. It's like a metronome of wind of a fifth dimensional gyro space clock for like crazy GPS most people don't understand. And if you could fix that, then you could fix the atmosphere. And if you could fix that, then you can fly a lot cheaper. I mean, you can fly a lot cheaper. Yeah, man. You know, the salt's in the air because it speeds the particles up when it dilutes and stuff. So. Go, ready? It's like, you know, they took that backwards. It did a diluted education. You know, if you know, not diluting the brains, it mixes well with others, you know? See what I mean? It's kind of funny, right? Here you go, ready? So you got a metronome, okay? Hey, you know that you say, hey, follow my finger. Can you follow my flashlight, okay? Everybody's been doing that, but they don't even know any idea what it means, you know? And then they got a little piece of information. And most people get a little piece of information and they got everything. It's like, oh man, so you gotta follow my finger, follow my finger. Well, let me give you a bigger thing. You know, I did the carburetor thing last summer. You know, I said, hey, last summer, I said, I know what you did last summer. Now remember this. I said, here's your carburetor, right? Hey, if I were to turn the world upside down, I would put dirt in the air. Let me tell you why that's important. You got a metronome, right? Tick, 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 tick. You know, you got a 1D, 3D clock with some hands on it. You know, the second hand on it does like this. Right? But the grandfather clock does like this, like my grandfather and grandmother in Tennessee, swinging like a pendulum. So Jesus turns it upside down and says, hey, here's a metronome. Now we still got the worlds turning. As the world turns. As the world turns. As the world turns. Now, my hand's not going back and forth. I'm just showing you that's the world turning, throwing stuff in one direction. Okay? Well, this is still giving back pressure and forward pressure, okay? So we're just throwing this, right? So I get out in the field, I do this video, I show you about all this stuff, pushing things up against the building. Everybody's like, haha. So I go back out there, and they're like, haha, you know, look at the sun over there, how's that gonna work? You know, it goes up under the banisters and stuff, builds back and builds back. You ever see David Bannister? Didn't know anything about David? You know, the Star of David? You know, the six-pointed star, like my deputy sheriff grandfather up there in Tennessee, like Billy the Kid that went down to Mexico. Hey, what about my dad, man? Or my grandmother, Bill and Billy Kirk. Billy the Kid, man. Hey, did you forget my number? Hold on a minute. Let me call God. Tick, 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 tick. Okay, now check this out. You ask God for the clouds, and you want to move them. What is God? The gift of diplomacy. Good of diplomacy. Now, that's how my grandfather would say it. My dad would say some few other choice words, but my grandmother, she'd be like, Joy, okay? You be a nice little people, okay? You got a metronome? All right, now tell them what you mean. We got a wall here. You have to watch the other video to understand it. It's a building. It's got 3 layers of balcony. You got ground level, middle level, earth, and just before you get to space. You ready? You hit the second balcony. This car is parked in front of it, so little turbulence. Go up and now it's compacting. Do a little dribbling it down like a compression stroke. now it's coming out, okay? And then you got the other one, right? So it's coming out, pushing, making the other one build up. Now you're building up, and now they go, oh, it's going up, and it's going to throw over the building, and yeah, there you go. Hey, and don't forget, we got a spawn over here. It's twisting. It's going to go this way. Hold on. That's because the sun was over there. There's heat. Okay, there's heat way over there now. But earlier when I did the video, the sun was right here. Huh? Excuse me, I got a question. Somebody said when the heat rises, it compresses. And I said I just gave a demonstration of a vacuum pocket where the heat rises and nothing's compressing. If it don't compress on the ground, you don't got any moisture there. You're going to try to pull it down, but if there's nothing there, then it's going to right back up. And all you're going to do is cook yourselves like a microwave. So I'll tell you what, I'll give this to you. You got the sun straight overhead. I was building things up, and over here it's cool because the sun's over here, and you get an invisible pyramid, right? Not the pyramid, so they got it backwards. Invisible pyramid, man. Like a slope, like a cone, man. We're in the upside down cone. Like a Chinese, Korean karate stuff, man. Okay? Now, because the sun's overhead and the pressure, you know, the sun's rays, man, plus the cloud moving and everything, you know, summer breakthrough, it started to heat up a little bit, and you got this moisture down here, you want to push it up, man. It hits the building, gets a little resistance, and they go, oh, man, it's starting to build up. Maybe it's pushing this way because of the wind, but then the sun moves. All that pressure's built up, and you got a pressure over here, right? There's pressure over here you can't even see, right? Now, don't forget the fluctuation. But the whole time, the earth is still moving. And I go, man, I see the sun. Right now, the sun's over there. But earlier, it was over here. So I say, sun's moving this way. Maybe the earth moving this way, too, and it's just trying to keep up. No, man, the earth's moving that way. Did you forget? Earth moving that way, okay? Now, the sun's over here, and the earth's moving this way. Plus, you're building up all this pressure. Now you got the heat, right? And you got the forest, the trees, the grass. Everything's building up this pressure. And the earth's still moving, you know? But the earth's moving this way. It's moving away from the sun, man, because of the heat, right? We want to keep it warm and not hot. So it's moving away. But it's still building up all this pressure. This pressure's going this way, while the earth is moving this way. It's twisting it apart while you say, hey, wait a minute. Now it's all built up. You get to this big desert area. Nighttime come. Boom! Boom! And then next day come and so whoa. Man, what happened after that? We know they try to get the heat to go under. Okay, so we got this stuff, you know, building up this pressure. Sun's moving this way. Earth's still turning this way. Why it's building up like this, plus it's trying to move this way, and the earth's moving the other way. It kind of get into the structure underneath. You get a little warmth in there because there's humidity. It keeps it push it up to the atmosphere. But when it get to a hot desert, you know, it's too hot. So then it builds up pressure, comes down into the heat zone, evaporate too fast. The sand dust storm kicks up. All that sand sucked the moisture out of the air. They thought maybe the sand will come down, and then we got the water. The sand will come up and move. It's so hot with the radiating sun, it dries the sand out. The moisture goes back up. The sand falls in the desert, and it's square one. So the Egyptians say, we got this big square super pyramid out there to remind everybody that. Maybe they'll learn to work together and say, hey, hold on. Where's those Americans at, man? We need to pick up some of that stuff and send it over this way. Problem is, we got to make a special helicopter and a special airplane, okay, to land over there so we don't be like the air that goes build up, big heavy plane, a lot of supplies. We got it. We're flying along. We get a downdraft. Boom! There went all the supplies in the plane. Freaky accident, man. We were bingo fuel, and all of a sudden, we got nowhere to land. We can't even glide. We got reverse blades. It's supposed to work, but there's no moisture, man. We got the reverse blades, man. We crash landed, but there's no moisture in the air, so we got nothing to push off of, man. Boom! You get what I mean? So we got to design some stuff. Maybe we need to do some ultralight research. So over there in the desert, where there's no moisture, maybe we can get some kind of kick up, get a little push. It'll be hot, man. Hot coming in, you know, but when we drop out, we got cool all around our choppers. We're coming down, we bring a cloud down, like Moses, delivering from the clouds, and we got a little heat there to mix a little bit. But if you get the right structure, hurricane. But in the center, it had normal weather, hurricane hunters. Into the hurricane. Hey, it's all calm. You see the eye of the storm? We got country songs about that. We got a God song about that. In the eye of the storm. In the eye of the storm. You guys ever heard that? Star of David airports, man. Build a wall. You ever seen that Alien movie, man? And here comes down. They weren't landing on a pyramid, man. They're landing on a special runway. But they blew them all up, took them all out, and left one big pyramid. So they say, until you learn to talk diplomatically with all the other countries, we put this big anvil weight, sucks all the moisture out, and the sand comes up, pushes it all back up in the atmosphere, and just skips over. So being the good guys that we are, we go, we got to design some stuff, figure this out. Maybe we'll get some people to invest, and maybe we can start landing some supplies over there, save some fuel, time, energy, and God forbid more wars. But we don't need that. We get some peace, you know? And then, oh, and then, you see Transformers movie, man? We had the sand come up, and then come back down, had this thing come out. Well, take the thing out of the dirt, and just think of the dirt, right? But it's air. Clear in the air, man. You need to clear the air, and the Star of David thing, man. Twisting here, aim a little bit. You get the little, you know, DNA swarm. You seen the Mars movie, man? Where the pyramid starts spinning. This moving pyramid, and they make a thing, and they send the craft up into space and bring it down, huh? That Mars movie. The Mars movie where they got the guy landing on Mars, planting potatoes, trying to figure out how to grow crops. You needed a universal healthcare translator, huh? Oh. You guys talked to Lieutenant Coffee yet?